Today, we're going to talk about faux amis. Faux amis, what's that? It sounds like false friends. That can't be good. Well, you're right. And what are faux amis? They are words in French that sound like they should mean the same thing they mean in English. And certainly in French, there are a lot of words that, let's say English has derived from France, or they share influences, and so they are very similar, and that's what makes faux amis so much more difficult, because you think that this word should be this, and you say it and it means something completely different. So I want to start off today by just saying un grand merci tout le monde qui a laissé un commentaire très gentil sur ma chaîne. Franchement, ça me touche vraiment. Et je voulais vous remercier pour être là. Et oui, c'était exactement l'idée de cette chaîne, c'est de partager des idées de la langue française, de la culture française, et du coup, je vous remercie. Thank you for all those great comments. I read every single one of them, and I try to respond to all of them too, but they just mean the world to me, so thank you very much. Before we dive in, I do want to say I am not a French teacher. I'm not trying to be a French teacher. I'm just a person who is learning the language like everyone else. I have been studying French for many years, and so I am just sharing what I've learned so that you don't have to make the embarrassing mistakes that I have. If you're looking for some help with your French language, this video may be for you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to share a few of them with you because there are a lot of them, and then I'm going to point you to a great article that is on a website that I love. I'll put that down in the description, and they have a whole article with, I think it's like 30 or 30 something of them, which may be really helpful to you in your French language study, and you can just think about them and make sure you have the alternative that is like the right way to say what you want to say. Oh, just another little bit of housekeeping. If you like this video and if you want to join our community as it continues over on my free newsletter, it's a lot of fun. We talk about creativity, we talk about France. There's lots of jokes and polls and just all kinds of stuff that I'm sharing about my story and my journey as someone who moved to France after getting married to a French person and now lives in Paris. I really hope you'll come over and check it out. We would love to have you. And let's dive right in. D'accord. Faux ami numéro 1. This one will help you a lot if you're looking for a place and you want to ask it in French. Now, you might be tempted to use the word location. Location, it sounds exactly like location. It's spelled exactly the same way. Why, French, can't you just mean the same thing? But it doesn't. Location en français means rental. Okay, so if you're asking for where a building is or something like that, you're like, where's the location? Don't use location. You're going to use emplacement. Emplacement means location. Faux ami numéro 2. Actuellement. Actuellement. It sounds like actually, right? It sounds like the way we make a word into an adverb, and we just add that M-E-N-T, that M-E-N-T en français, but it doesn't work like that. Actuellement means currently, as in like now. So if you say actuellement to someone and what you're trying to say is actually, there could be a misunderstanding. If what you want to say is actually, you're going to use either en fait or vraiment. So don't let that one confuse you. And there are a few of those adverbs like that that don't work quite the same way in French. So just be on the lookout for that family of words that end in M-E-N-T when you try to convert the English into the French. Faux ami numéro 3. This is a good one because if you mess this one up, you could find yourself really in a misunderstanding. And it's the word déception. Déception, it sounds exactly like deception, right? But it doesn't mean that at all in French. Déception means disappointment. If you want to say deception in French, you have to use something like tromperie, une tromperie. Okay, that's just the way it is, people. It's faux ami. Faux ami numéro 4. It's a little funny, but I'm just gonna put it out there on the table because if you hear this word and you don't know it, it could really trip you up, and that's the word douche. Douche. sounds like douche, right? I pretty much spelled the same way too, frankly. But en français, une douche is a shower. So, je vais prendre une douche. I'm going to take a shower. Just saying that. Don't use douche as an insult. No one will know what you're talking about. But if you want to know some insults, I can do a whole video on that. Here's a good one for you. And this tripped me up for ages before I figured, I can't believe I didn't learn this earlier on. But the word monnaie. If you're in a store and someone asks you, est-ce que vous avez de la monnaie? I always thought they meant, do you have cash? Do you have money? But what they mean is, de la monnaie is a coin. It's silver money. No, it's coins. Okay, it's coins. And you know, in Europe, we use the 1 and 2 euro coins, and coins are a big deal here. So if someone asks you about la monnaie, typically they're just asking you if you have like exact change. If you want to say money, you don't say la monnaie, you say l'argent. Speaking of the word coin, this can be a source of confusion too, not as it relates to money in France, but in French, that same spelling, C-O-I-N, C-O-I-N, coin means corner, or like little neighborhood, like, j'étais dans le coin, I was in the neighborhood. So if you hear coin in French, it's going to mean either corner or it's going to mean a little place, a little area. So just don't be deceived by something that sounds like a word that you know, or if you read it, you're going to think, oh, coin, I know what that is. No, you don't. So for our last faux amis today, we're going to talk about the word car. C-A-R. C-A-R. Car is not car. If you say car to a French person, you mean because. It's like a polite way of saying parce que. Because. J'ai déménagé en France car je me suis mariée avec un Français. I moved to France car I married a French man. So if you want to say your car or a car, you have to use the word voiture, which maybe you already know that word, but I just think it can trip you up if you hear car and you're like, what is he talking about? So car means parce que, because. Whew. Okay, let's take a deep breath. And I hope that you found this video a little bit helpful, just some tips and tricks for you as you continue your study of this beautiful language. And remember, as I always say, if you are studying a foreign language, give yourself a little pat on the back, double thumbs up, and say, je suis incroyable, je suis wow, je suis vraiment super. Pourquoi? Parce que c'est pas du tout facile à apprendre une langue étrangère, et surtout le français qui est une langue assez difficile à apprendre, oui. Et du coup, bonne continuation tout le monde, et à très bientôt.